Hey everyone, and welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is the daily show where we give you all of the latest news from the world of movies, plus a little bit of insight into what it all means. Joining us, as always, AMC Movie News Editor-in-Chief, John Campea.
Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, coming to you live from right here at the Stream.TV studios here in Hollywood, California. We hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving break. I know we did, but we're really glad to be back.
Also here, writer-director John Schnepp.
Yep, ate a lot of food, had a lot of fun, watched Star Wars trailers like 25 times, listened to nerds get all weird about a tri-saber. You know, it's normal.
And also your managing editor for IamRogue.com, Jamie Philbrick.
All right, happy December.
Welcome back, Jamie.
Yeah, Christmas came early for the nerds this year.
Yeah.
With Thanksgiving, with Star Wars, for sure.
All right, let's get started.
Well, as all of you know, this past Friday, the first teaser trailer for the upcoming new Star Wars film, Star Wars The Force Awakens, dropped in select theaters and online, giving us our first look at J.J. Abrams' version of the galaxy far, far away. John, your thoughts on the new Star Wars trailer?
Well, you know, we, Schnepp and me and Christian, we actually went down to the AMC Century City and we recorded our reaction as soon as we came out of it. And so I'm going to repeat a little bit of what I said there, but also I've thought about it a little bit more. First of all, have you seen this image going around? I know Christian posted it on his Twitter too, but one of the big parts of controversy, if a teaser trailer can have controversy, is of course the hilt, if you will, on the lightsaber sword. And there's this great image going around that says, it's two panels. On one panel, it's that image that says this, with a circle around the hilt. And the next image is, prevents this. And it's a picture of Luke with his hand being lopped off. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Anyway, I really enjoyed the trailer. But I don't even call what we got a teaser trailer. It's what I kind of refer to as an announcement trailer. You know, it's one of those just things that says, hey, everybody, this is coming. You know, it's not even really a trailer. Remember, Star Wars is still over a year away. And I think that's something that a lot of people are losing sight of. Look, was I blown away by the Star Wars trailer? No, but it's a trailer for a movie that's coming out a year from now. Did I think it was really effective as an announcement trailer? Yes. Because, you know, we forget sometimes, those of us in the movie sphere, we forget there are still a lot of people out there who didn't even know a new Star Wars movie was coming, right?
Yeah.
We forget that. Everybody knows a Star Wars movie is coming now. And them showing the Millennium Falcon was a part of that. Bringing in that classic iconic Star Wars score was all a part of that. I still think a half-second shot of Harrison Ford's face would have gone a long way, but whatever. But, you know, I had a lot of people writing to me and saying, you know, well, that was nowhere near as good as the first trailer for Avengers Age of Ultron. Yeah, but that trailer came out 6 months from when the movie is coming out. 6 months. Give Star Wars another 6 months, and then let's talk about the real trailers to start coming then. For now, it was an announcement trailer. I thought it was perfectly effective and I got kind of geeky. When that score plays, man, I get all wound up. I get excited. I'm thrilled for it. So as an announcement trailer, I thought it was great. Obviously, as a run-of-the-mill trailer for a movie a year away, underwhelming, sure, but that's not what it was. Anyway, Jamie, you had a chance to check it out.
Yeah. Look, we're talking about 88 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and I hadn't thought of it that way, but I totally agree with you. It's not a trailer per se, and it's not even really a teaser trailer. An announcement. I really like that. And I think this was a great announcement for Star Wars. I probably watched it like 5 times in a row when it first, you know, became available. And I'm just like, oh my God, because it goes so quick. You're just like, what did I see? What did I see? And at first I was slightly disappointed because you don't get anything like a shot of Chewbacca or a shot of... Right. Yeah, I would have loved to see, like, what's Luke going to look like? You know, with the beard and everything, you know? We haven't seen anything about Leia. Like, who knows what Carrie Fisher's going to look like in this movie? And obviously, Harrison and all that. So those elements were kind of missing for me at first. And so there is, as an old school Star Wars fan, there's this, like, disappointment, like, oh, I didn't get kind of what I was waiting for. At the same time, then I had to look at what I did get. Brand new characters.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great to see Oscar Isaacs and John Boyega and all these guys and these new characters. A new robot? I don't know what that is. Is that R2-D2.2? Or I don't know. That could be anything. Who knows what that is? The lightsaber is super cool. I like it because it's kind of like a makeshift lightsaber. I'm almost wondering, like, is that an official lightsaber, or is there a character that like crafts a new one? Because if you look at it, like it's a thinner blade than we're used to. I mean, we're not just talking about the extension here, but also that blade is a thinner kind of blade than what we've seen in the other movies. So I thought that was really cool. Obviously, when the music comes in at the end and we see the Millennium Falcon, then you're like, okay, I'm in Star Wars. This is great. But what I loved about it is that it was almost, if you want to call it an announcement, let's say announcement, it's J.J. Abrams announcing, this is my Star Wars.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be the Lucas prequel Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is going to be my version. And I've always heard that Abrams was more of a Star Wars fan than a Star Trek fan growing up. So this is him really getting to play in the play box and do something original with this stuff. And I thought it was great. And the one last thing I want to say is we've heard a lot of rumors about John Boyega was going to be a stormtrooper. It's a stormtrooper who decides he doesn't want to be a stormtrooper anymore, and he gets a conscience and whatever happens. And obviously that's a little bit confirmed by what we see in this teaser. What I'm interested in, though, is how much is Abrams' film going to kind of brush up against continuity in the Star Wars world? Because based on the second Star Wars prequel, every stormtrooper without a helmet on looks like Boba Fett's father.
Right. But to get really geeky, people in the know of the Star Wars universe know that the Empire stopped using clones a long time ago.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, stormtroopers are all actually recruited soldiers.
So now they're recruited, so it could be Boyega. Okay,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Great,
yeah.
Great. I thought this was more of a declaration of him saying, well, we're not going to stick to all the continuity. We're going to kind of play with it a little bit. But I am not geeky enough to have known that. So
you saw the trailer.
Did they all become Mandalorians? What happened? Yeah, Star Wars, a collection of images is all I could call it. And for the collection of images, I was blown away. And it made me, I cannot wait to see the actual real trailer with Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia and Chewbacca and the weird images that you've seen online of like Darth Vader's helmet and all this other weird stuff that we know we're going to be seeing in 6 months.
Well,
so
here's
for me,
the question.
it didn't disappoint me at all. Yes, we are.
Or do you think
in 6 months, sure.
But is Abrams going to play with the mystery box until December 16th, 2016?
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
All that matters to me is that I saw a Star Wars trailer that delivered the excitement that I wanted, and it actually had me asking more questions than just simply saying, "Oh, there's Luke, or there's Han, or there's Chewbacca."
And that's my point. That's the bottom line. That's what makes it better.
It actually makes everyone aware that there's a Star Wars trailer, and it's new.
And it's new. And
it's all
different.
New stuff.
And
you know what really bugs me about the internet sometimes is just like the massive amount of complaining that happens. It's like, can you be happy that there's a Star Wars movie for like 25 seconds?
All I heard
Instead of
was
just the tri-saber doesn't make sense. Where's
Is that
everybody?
Benedict Cumberbatch? Is that Benedict Cumberbatch?
It's almost too annoying to talk about, but I'm on a talk show, so let's talk about it for a minute. Everyone needs to chill out. And if you need to go into a cryo-sleep chamber for 6 months till you get the real trailer, you might want to think about that. Get on some drugs or something just to chill out. You just need to relax.
Yeah.
That's all I need to tell everyone is just relax. It's a teaser. That's what a teaser is. It shows you a few images. It's not promising to tell you the story.
Right.
Just relax.
Yeah. Like the Age of Ultron trailer, that was a legit trailer. That was the full-blown trailer. We haven't got that from Star Wars yet. A couple of interesting things. A lot of people asking online, because there was similarities in the voice, saying, was that Benedict Cumberbatch? Because it sounds like Benedict Cumberbatch doing his Khan voice. As it turns out, it has now actually been officially confirmed. That is Andy Serkis doing the voice.
Now, who officially confirmed that?
Good Morning America actually talked to the people at Lucasfilm, and they confirmed that it was Andy Serkis.
It's Andy Serkis through the whole thing?
Yes, the whole thing.
Because I was like, it's Max. Sounds like Max von Sydow.
No, and Drew McWeeny at HitFix did confirm this as well, really early on Friday.
So, I mean, here's a couple of things. The one thing about this image that everybody's assuming that's Adam Driver. After seeing the image, though, that jokey image about this prevents this.
Right.
What if that's Luke?
Yeah, I tend to think it's Luke.
What if that's Luke? And the one other thing I would have done differently about Star Wars trailer, then we need to move on to the next topic. The one thing I would have done differently, and because me, Christian, and Schnepp went into the AMC Century City to a 9 o'clock screening of Big Hero 6 in the morning, saw the trailer, got up, walked out, recorded our reaction video, then walked into a 9:30 screening of Hunger Games, watched the trailer, got up, walked out of that, then walked into a 10 o'clock screening of Madagascar, the Penguins of Madagascar, got up and walked out. So we watched it over and over again. Now, at the very end of the trailer, After the logo's up, the music fades out, then you just hang in there for another second and a very faint sound of a lightsaber turning on. How cool would it have been if, the sound fades out and then a slight sound of Chewbacca? How awesome would that have been? That would have been like,
variant trailer. What about R2-D2? It's like, go ahead and make your own version of the teaser trailer.
Last thing I want to say, I agree. My first thought was it's Luke as well, because we've heard some things about what Luke's role might be in, and that would make sense.
Well, then look at the hand. The hand is like
the hand's got some
it's all wrapped up.
Yeah. And then the other thought I actually had too as well was Andy Serkis, because we don't know what he's doing.
We have that's the great thing about the Andy Serkis character. We don't know if he's going to be an actor in the film, if he's going to be a motion capture dude.
Everyone thinks he's a motion capture, going to be doing the motion capture thing.
Don't just assume that.
I've heard a lot of rumors that he may actually be an actor.
He's in everything now. He's like he's Claw in Avengers. He's just like scooped every kind of cool genre movie. I don't know. Circus, you rock.
All right, let's move on to the next topic.
He's the new Hugo Weaving.
Really? Yeah, he is.
The box
They have to be
office
in a movie
numbers are
together.
in, and as expected, Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 held on to the #1 spot. The film took in another $57 million, bringing its North American total to over $225 million, and its worldwide total to over $480 million. In second spot was the new animated film, The Penguins of Madagascar, making $25.8 million on its opening weekend and $36 million total. In third place is Big Hero 6, making $18.7 million. In fourth is Interstellar, making $15.8 million. And rounding out the top 5 is the new film Horrible Bosses 2, making $15.7 million this weekend and $23 million in total. Schnepp, what stands out to you about this weekend's box office results?
What stands out is Horrible Bosses didn't make that much money. I mean, isn't it its first opening weekend?
It's opening weekend, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, everything is down a little bit. I mean, Hunger Games obviously is still commanding most of the cash that's coming in. So everyone who didn't see it the first weekend is now seeing it. So they're catching up. So, I mean, that's what kind of stands out is everything else is sort of like in the middle. Like they're all really close to each other, like 15, 15, right. 15.
I think, number one, what stands out to me the most is that Big Hero 6 in its third week took a 6.7% drop.
Wow.
Only a 6.7% drop from week 2 to week 3. That's crazy good number. On top of that, Interstellar went up 3%. Right. Interstellar, I mean, still only coming in at $15 million, but it actually made more money in its third week than it did in its second week. I thought that was interesting. And I think Horrible Bosses came in right around where I expected it to. I mean, remember, it opened early, and so its total opening week number was actually $23 million, right, which is actually a pretty good number for an R-rated comedy like that. I don't think they were expecting much more, especially going against the juggernaut that was Mockingjay. And for the first time in 9 weeks, Gone Girl drops out of the top 5 down to the number 8 spot. What a run that film has been having. So, yeah, really interesting. What stands out to you, Jamie, about
Well,
the
what's
results?
interesting, a couple things. Well, one with Horrible Bosses 2, that doesn't really surprise me. I mean, I liked the first Horrible Bosses a lot, but was anyone really, like, really wanted a sequel?
I did.
You were like,
loved
give me
the
a
first
sequel.
one.
Okay, I liked the first one a lot. So it doesn't surprise me the sequel didn't do as well as the first one. The other thing that I thought was not surprising, but I wanted to talk about Penguins. I really liked it. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it. It's really well done. But what I thought was interesting with the marketing is they really sold it on sort of a Madagascar spin-off and a Madagascar sequel, which makes a lot of sense since Madagascar was a huge franchise. But when I saw the movie, this is really a superhero film. Like, the Penguins are superheroes, and they join up with another sort of superhero animal team that, of course, Benedict Cumberbatch is the voice of, because he's in everything. And I'm really surprised with the success of Big Hero 6 and the success of superhero films in general, that Fox didn't really play that up with the marketing and sell that as more of a fun, superhero penguins, as opposed to we're just a spin-off from Madagascar, which is what I saw in all the advertising. That being said, it's really good. So it did well. I mean, nothing is going to compete with the juggernaut that is Mockingjay. So now, what's the feeling on how Mockingjay is doing as far as, I mean, has it hit its expectations? Is it a little below expectations?
It's hard to say. I mean, right now, worldwide, in just 2 weeks, the film's made $480 million worldwide.
Yeah.
Like, let that sink in. $480 million worldwide in 2 weeks. So they've got to be happy. I mean, could it have been better? Sure.
I know the feeling in opening weekend was it was a little lower than expectations. The first Twilight, the first of the last 2 Twilights, the first of the last 2 Harry Potters did a little bit better in their opening weekend.
Well, and the previous Hunger Games film
did a little
had a
bit
better
better
opening weekend. But I think
People also know this is not the final movie. It's the beginning of the final movie.
Exactly. I think we need to just wait a few more weeks, sit back, and then look at what the total numbers of it are. But right now, it's running pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we reached that part of the show for buy and sell. This is how it works. In front of her, Ashley's got a few other items in the world of movie news. She's going to run them down, and then those of us at the table are simply going to say whether we buy it or sell it. So, Ashley, what do we got?
Although plans for a new Independence Day movie have been in the works for some time, Fox Studios has never actually greenlit the project until now. According to a report in Deadline, Fox has officially given the go-ahead to begin working on the sequel, and it's expected to start shooting in May for a June 14, 2016 release. The third Independence Day film, however, was not greenlit, as the studio wants to wait and see how the sequel progresses and is received first. Jamie Byers saw the green lighting of the Independence Day sequel.
Okay, before I buy or sell it, this is a Will Smith-less Independence Day, correct?
Yes.
Right. No Fresh Prince.
No Fresh Prince, no Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum is in the film.
He is, and Bill Pullman is in the film.
Yes.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna buy it because I do like Independence Day. I did like the original. I'm a little hesitant because of no Will Smith because he really, he was the man of the movie. He made that movie and it made his career really too. But I love Jeff Goldblum. I love Bill Pullman. I'm interested in seeing where they take the story all these years later. It's a very hesitant buy, but I'll buy it.
I'm going to enthusiastically buy this, and here's why. I thought, for me, when I watched the original one, Will Smith was great in it, but for me, it was Jeff Goldblum's movie. He was the guy to me. But on top of that, an alien invasion film where now humanity's had 20 years to adapt alien technology, develop their own weapons. Now we're going to have aliens versus humanity war in the hands of a director like Roland Emmerich. It's going to be a hot, steamy mess, and I love it. I'm all for it. For me, it's a huge buy.
What if I'm going to sell it, unless it's called ID Forever, because that's the cheesiest title I've ever heard. It's like Batman Forever. If they still call it ID Forever, I'll end up buying it.
Was that the working title?
Yeah, that's a working title. If it's
that.
called Independence Day 2, A Day of Reckoning or something, I'm going to sell it. I'll still see the movie. But what if the humans in ID Forever are going to attack the alien homeworld?
That would be even more badass.
That would be even better.
We want to track them down, find out where they live, and wipe out the rest of them.
We've taken their technology, and with Jeff Goldblum's weird floppy disk of old technology, they've created a time wormhole. I'd be into it.
Well, and what if they're the villains, and we see the whole movie from the aliens' point of view?
I love that.
And then the most important question is Judd Hirsch back? Is Judd Hirsch
I've
back?
not heard anything about Judd Hirsch.
I need Judd Hirsch.
He's a little busy.
Didn't he die in the first one?
No, he's still alive at the end of the
I'm
first
imagining this. Okay.
All right, what's
You
next?
just wanted Judd Hirsch to die.
Speaking with Empire Magazine, Jurassic World director Colin Trevorrow talked about the new hybrid dinosaur that we never actually see on screen in the trailer. Trevorrow said the following: "This new creation is what gave me a reason to tell another Jurassic Park story. We have the most awe-inspiring creatures to ever walk the earth right in front of us, but for some reason that's not enough. We're always hungry for the next thing, and those who profit from it are always looking to feed that hunger. The focus groups want something bigger than a T-Rex, and that's what they get." John, buy or sell Trevorrow's comments?
Oh, I big buy them, because it's not just a reflection of the world that he's directing in, it's also a reflection of the movie-going audience in general. We are seeing dinosaurs. We have the technology that we can sit back in a movie theater and see dinosaurs realistically walking amongst human beings. But we always want the next thing. It's the law of diminishing returns, right? We always want a bigger high and a bigger high and a bigger high. And I love the fact that he's drawing a juxtaposition of that from our real world into his world and saying, these people have real dinosaurs in a park they can see, but now they've grown uninterested. It reminds me of that, who's the comedian who's got his own comedy show right now with his name? That Louis C.K. thing, his bit about having people complaining that the Wi-Fi's out on the plane.
Right.
And Louis C.K. goes, "You are sitting on a chair in the sky.
Right.
Yeah.
Where is your sense of wonder?"
Yeah.
And I thought that his comments were extremely poignant. I love the analogy. So yeah, for me, it's a buy. Schnepp.
Yeah, it's a total buy for me as well. I think his comments really ring true, as well as just when you see the trailer, you see a SeaWorld type of audience, or using these dinosaurs. Show me something more, dinosaur. Go eat a shark. And it's almost like it is that kind of cloying type of thing where now I want another. Why don't you combine these two things and make something else for me? And then something really bad happens. So yeah, it sounds great.
Jamie?
Yeah, total buy. We're four Jurassic Park movies in now. We've had 3 before. So you need to up the ante. We've seen 20 years ago, it was amazing to see dinosaurs in that first movie on screen. Now we know what it's like. We've seen Transformers. We've seen cars turn into robots. Like we've seen
Dinobots.
Iron Man. Like we've seen the Avengers. Like we've seen things on film that I never thought we'd see as realistically as we've seen on film. So you really do have to up the ante with a fourth Jurassic Park. And I mean, his comments sound awesome. Like, bring it on. I want to see it.
The one thing I really do want to see in this new one, though, is something that the other Jurassic Parks weren't able to capture. Jurassic Park is not just a visual feast for the eyes like Transformers, right? Just show us and amaze us. That first Jurassic Park also scared the crap out of us.
Right.
It was a borderline horror film in some ways, right? And I hope they can get back to the fear. I hope they can instill that again with this one.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we've reached that part of the show for Mailbag. Listen, if you've got a topic or a question you'd like us to address on the show, you can email us anytime at amcmovietalk@gmail.com. Now, we're going to try to save a minute or two at the end of the show, take some live Twitter questions. If you're watching us live, tweet in to @AMC Movie News. But for now, let's get to the Mailbag questions. So, Ashley, what do we got?
Zachary said, hello, John and company. Just wondering why Rotten Tomatoes has the runtime of the third Hobbit movie at 3 hours and 25 minutes. Is this true?
No, it is not true. I actually, and they're not the only ones that got it wrong. IMDb had the wrong time. Flickster had the wrong time. A lot of people had the wrong time. And even I tweeted out, I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? The last Hobbit movie is 3.5 hours? It's actually 2 hours and 20 minutes. But a wrong number got put in there somewhere, and then other people picked up on that, and they started running the wrong number. So if you've heard it's 3.5 hours, especially if you heard it, that was 3.5 hours from my Twitter feed. I'm sorry about that. It's actually 2 hours and 20 minutes, unless you guys have heard anything different.
I actually saw it on Saturday, and I can tell you that the screening...
It is not 3.5 hours.
No way. The screening was scheduled to start at 10 a.m. As you guys both know, these screenings press screenings never start on time. So let's say it started at 10:15. I remember looking at my phone as soon as I was in the lobby, and it was 12:30.
Yeah,
like 12:35. So it's definitely 2 and
change.
two and change, a little under 2.5, and which is the running time it should be.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that.
Yeah.
What's next?
Stan
Don't believe
Lala
Rotten Tomatoes.
writes, I remember a while back you said that Interstellar was underperforming. It made $50 million its opening weekend and opened second. The movie has made around $550 million worldwide, with a budget of $165 million, and I'm sure this movie will cross the $600 million mark. Is that still disappointing? It seems to me they made good money from it since it has made 3 times the budget, right?
Well, this brings up a really excellent point. A lot of people always confuse disappointing with failure. They are two very different things. Now, the last Christopher Nolan film, Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, made over $1 billion worldwide. His film before that, Inception, made over $800 million worldwide. His film before that was a $1 billion movie. So, did they have higher hopes and higher expectations, especially considering the buzz for Interstellar? Yes. Is it okay for them to feel maybe a little bit disappointed with the results of the box office? Sure, but do not confuse that for failure. This movie is making the studio money hand over fist. They are rolling and crying in their $100 bills. What's your definition of fail? Well, it should have made $1 billion. Nobody was expecting Man of Steel coming off of Superman Returns. Nobody was expecting it to make $1 billion. But it made an awful lot of money. But still, could some people say they're disappointed? Sure. But don't confuse disappointed with failure. They're not synonymous with each other. So are they a little disappointed with the Inception? With the Interstellar thing? Maybe. But it is in no way a failure. You guys
it's all expectations. You can have a movie that there are no expectations for it to do well at all. And, like Ouija Board. Ouija Board, no one thought that was going to do it. It opens at number 1, Or you could have a movie like Inception that people think this is going to win the Best Picture, this is going to make $1 billion, and then it underperforms. Does that mean it's unsuccessful? Certainly not. I mean, you bring up Man of Steel. I think it made $400 million, I'm rounding off, worldwide.
I think it made closer to $700 million worldwide, yeah.
For what, a $200 million investment?
Yeah.
Let's even call it $300 million with all the marketing they put into it. Still, that's a $300 million investment, and you got $400 million back on that. I mean, that's good business.
Yeah.
So there's just these expectations. It's just expectations, and if you have very high expectations for something, you need to overperform. And if you have low expectations for something and you overperform, then you did well.
Sure.
I don't think it's. I understand that everyone's saying, it should have made $1 billion, but remember, it's an original film. It's a science fiction. A lot of talking involved. It's not a lot of action. to make almost $600 million is incredibly fantastic. I think people should be jumping around that a movie that's like almost 3 hours, that's a lot of talking and about emotions and love. I mean, that made $600 million and it's not a sequel. I mean, that's what I'd say about it.
All right, what's next?
Ray Smith writes, greetings, sons and daughters of AMC. I am one of the many that found you during the MOS production/release and have been hooked ever since. My question to you is this. With the talk of Dawn of Justice wrapping up filming soon, could DC/Warner Brothers throw us the ultimate curveball and with the release of their trailer during the release of the new Hobbit film and hit us with a 2015 release date for Dawn of Justice? Keep bringing the filthy.
Okay, first of all, this whole rumor going around that there's going to be a Dawn of Justice trailer playing with the Hobbit, put that away.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Nobody anywhere official has said that. So, and I just see that's just, it's been said so many times, a lot of people just believe it as fact.
Right.
Hey, is it possible? Sure, it's the right studio, so anything's possible, but nobody has said that's actually happening. Aside from that, it is so funny that this question comes in because me, Schnepp, and Christian, when we went to go see the Star Wars trailer, we were talking about that exact same thing. I will go on, look, do I believe this is what's happening? No, absolutely not, I don't. But put that aside for a second. This would be one of the greatest strokes of marketing genius in the history of this business if Warner Brothers artificially a year ago said, oh no, we're pushing the new Justice League movie to 2016. The Batman vs. Superman, that's going to be 2000. Got us all mad and stuff like that. We're sitting around here waiting for another year and a half until the movies come out. And then all of a sudden, just before Christmas this year, during the Hobbit, trailer comes out. You see some Batman, you see some Superman, whatever. Not a lot of finished effect shots yet. Then the screen goes black and comes up, coming. Bam! 2015. I would lose my mind. You'd get everybody talking about this. It would be genius. It's not happening, but man, how awesome would that be?
It would never happen in a million years, but it would be amazing. I mean, that would be quite a stroke of genius on their part to do that. They're not going to do that. It's just
no. But how great would it be?
It would be a Christmas miracle. Just wake up like, what? Yeah.
It would be great if I could fly like Superman, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
but
it's just
amazing. Like we're sitting here thinking we're going to be waiting a year and a half, and then all of a sudden, actually, son, you got in 4 months it's coming.
That'd be crazy.
Watch for oh my gosh.
I hope that some studio does that someday.
That
with
would
some
be
movie.
great,
Like that's a
wouldn't it?
great idea with some property to do that, but.
Everybody's always pushing them back. What if a
Superman
studio out of nowhere just comes out someday and says, you know what? We're not going to make you wait
We're
anymore.
ready to go.
Yeah. Warner Brothers, baller style.
Yeah. You want your Superman Batman?
Yeah.
Here's
Here you
your
go,
Superman
son.
Batman.
Bam.
What up?
All right, folks, I said we'd save a couple of minutes for some of your live Twitter questions. We're going to do just that. Send them on in to @AMC Movie News. Ashley is picking out the questions. So, Ashley, what have you selected?
Chris Daughtry writes, you all are awesome. Congrats on the views. Today's my 30th birthday. Any chance Hobbit makes more than Mockingjay?
No. It's going to make big money. It's going to make real big money. But
It's the last, and it's not only the last of the Hobbit movies, but hopefully it's the last of the Tolkien
whole
films.
at least of Peter Jackson's incarnation of the Tolkien universe. I'm sure at some point they'll revisit it. Happy birthday, by the way. And yeah, he was mentioning the 100. We actually this past weekend, for those who didn't see, our AMC Movie News YouTube channel passed 100 million views, which we never thought was going to happen. So that's what he was talking about. So we're really excited about that. Anyway, do you think there's any chance that The Hobbit could beat Mockingjay?
No. I mean, I think it could probably get close to it. Like, why not? They could both edge out to be like, 900 million or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I would have to wait and see how the film is. If it's like a stellar, critical acclaimed, and everyone goes to see it, everyone's talking about it, then it'll just keep building and go past Christmas through January, and people keep seeing it, and it'll beat Hunger Games. So
I'll definitely say, since I've seen it, and there are embargoes, and I can't say too much, but I will say it's the best of the Hobbit films. By far.
All right.
It's the best of the three. So I think it goes back to what we were talking about with expectations. What are the expectations? I think because the last two Hobbit movies didn't do as well as studios were hoping, the expectations are low. Hunger Games expectations are higher. At the same time, maybe this is underperforming a little bit, Mockingjay, than what we expected. So maybe it is in the realm of, a year ago I would have said it's never going to happen, but now I think it's in the realm of possibility.
yeah,
But
if everybody's
I'd
talking
still bet
about
my
it,
money on
everyone's going to go
Mockingjay.
see it.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
All right, what's next?
Jean Hernandez writes, love the show. What action hero showdown would you like to see? Mine would be The Rock versus Jason Momoa. Keep up the awesome work.
Rock Jason Momoa is a real good one. I got a feeling anything would probably. I mean, one of the other ones I would have said. There's only two legitimate we're in an era right now where today there are only two legit action stars, and I think that's Jason Statham and that's The Rock. One clearly is more successful than the other right now. But I would have said those two, but we're about to get those two in Fast 7.
Right.
I certainly hope we get. I hope
And The Rock
it's not,
thrown in too. Who knows who's fighting out of
well,
those
see, I
two
hope
guys.
it's The Rock versus Jason Statham.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're going to get Vin Diesel versus Jason Statham. I'm not looking forward to that one as much. I want to see The Rock fight Jason Statham. But The Rock and Momoa is pretty good. Momoa could emerge as a new action star. Oh, yeah. But there's not many legit ones today. This isn't like the 80s and 90s where you had about a dozen of them. Today, I mean, am I missing anybody that could maybe fall into that category?
Well, talking about the 80s, I would go Kurt Russell.
Oh, I was
as
so
Snake
thinking that.
Plissken versus Roddy Piper from They Live. And make like a John Carpenter freak out.
I was just thinking
awesome.
like actor Kurt Russell versus actor Dennis Quaid. I'd like to see them just fight for
Do you
some
know for the
reason.
longest
I don't
time
know
when I
why.
was younger, I always got those two
I know,
confused?
no, that's why yeah, me too. And then Jeff Daniels, Bill Pullman, and Bill Paxton. Those three, I'm always confused by.
Inner snake.
Yeah.
Just like Snake Plissken inside the human body.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, what's next?
No Sleep Capital writes, how come we aren't seeing more from John Krasinski? Very talented, was both great in both TV and movies. Thanks.
It's because everybody keeps wanting to argue with me, but it keeps being proved right again and again and again. It is almost impossible for a person who becomes famous as one TV character in a highly successful show to make a transition out. It has happened maybe 20 times in 30 years. Right. So for every George Clooney you've got, for every Michael J. Fox that you've got,
Willis.
for every Bruce Willis that you get, there's 1,000 others who were never able to do it. And everybody, writer, I love John Krasinski. I think he's great, and he's a great writer. Mm-hmm. He's a really good writer. But unfortunately, when people look at him, they see Jim. And it's going to be hard because you think it's bad seeing, everybody saw the kid who played Harry Potter.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, everybody.
Right.
Daniel Radcliffe. We saw him 8 times as Harry Potter. We saw John Krasinski as Jim 400 times. So it's really, really difficult for them to break out of that. And so far, it just hasn't hit. But he's young. He's talented. Let's not write him off yet, but I would love to see him hit big. What do you guys think?
Well, yeah, I mean, and you look at Carell, but Carell was already a movie star when he started doing the show. So, Krasinski's good, and he's had a couple of chances, and I liked him he played the Ben Affleck role in Matt Damon and Gus Van Sant's movie about fracking.
I like that movie.
Which I liked a lot. Title escapes me, but yeah, I like that movie a lot too. So, he's got an opportunity, but it's so funny that this question comes up because Emily Blunt, his wife, was on Letterman the other night, and Letterman was asking her about him, and I was thinking, where is John? We haven't heard from John in a while.
I think he's just enjoying being married to
and
Emily
why
Blunt.
not?
I mean,
Right?
come
Why
on.
not?
Let the
got
guy
pregnant.
relax for a minute. Weren't you on a very successful series? Yeah, it ran how many seasons did the Office run?
7, yeah.
Just give the guy a break. He's going to take 3 years off and write
And
a
he's
novel.
writing. And he's writing a bunch of stuff.
And he got
He's
Emily Blunt pregnant.
Hey.
I mean, come on,
No tears for John Krasinski in
that's
this
fine.
one. All right, what's next? Last one.
Film to Go writes, how many times did you watch the Star Wars teaser during the break?
We saw it 3 times in theater, and then I probably watched it 4 or 5 times on my computer, and then I watched it 4 or 5 times. Anywhere between 15 and 20 times. For me.
Yeah,
What do you guys
3
think?
times in the theater, and I'd say probably about 10 times over the entire weekend. And then read so much weird hatred about the tri-saber, and the Millennium Falcon looks crappy. Where's Han Solo? It just made me like, oh God, why am I even doing this stuff? Why do these people, ungrateful and freakishly strange complainos, complaining? It boggles my mind. I just stopped reading comments because I was like, I can't even read another person complaining about the tri-saber. It doesn't make sense. You can see the hilt. Oh God, it makes me crazy.
Yeah,
How many times do you see it?
I'm probably around 10, like under 10. But the other thing I saw just this morning, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, the George Lucas special edition version of the teaser trailer.
So good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
My favorite shot is as she's going by on that speeder, and there's Jabba the Hutt
Jabba the
standing
Hutt.
there.
For no reason.
Killed me.
For those of you who haven't seen it, it's basically the teaser trailer, but done the way George Lucas would do it by throwing in stuff in the background for no reason.
50
like
dewbacks in
Jabba
that
the
scene.
Hutt,
Yeah,
or,
it's so good.
Yeah. It's really
It was
funny.
really
It's really
brilliantly
brilliant.
done. All right, folks, that'll do it for us for this installment of AMC Movie Talk. Thanks a lot for joining us. Listen, don't forget, lots of great movies playing at AMC Theaters right now. Head on over to www.amctheaters.com for all of your theater, showtime, and of course your movie ticket information. If you want an audio-only version of this episode, look in the description of this video and you'll find a link to our podcast feed so you can listen to us on the way to work or at the gym or wherever. I want to thank the guys sitting at the table with me. First of all, our special guest today sitting right here, Mr. Jamie Philbrick. Jamie, where can people find you online?
So check out my website, www.iamrogue.com. You can also find us at I Am Rogue on Twitter, I Am Rogue on Facebook, and you can check me out on Facebook, Jamie Philbrick.
The one and the only Mr. John Schnepp. Schnepp, where can people find you?
You guys can find me at Twitter and Instagram at John Schnepp and at TDOSLWH. And I heard the running time of The Hobbit, the final one, of the DVD is 7 hours.
8, I heard.
8 hours,
yes.
So we stand corrected.
We're getting And of course, our lovely host today, Miss Ashley Mova. Ashley, where can people find you?
Twitter, Instagram at Ashley Mova. Happy Monday, guys.
And you can find me on all the various social media networks just at John Campea. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. My name's John Campea for AMC Movie News, and until next time, bye-bye.
Hey everyone, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC Movie Talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.